Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Messiah deck profile for post-generation Dragenesis, one of the later updates for the decks from the 6th booster set for the Cardfight Vanguard Divines series. The Messiah deck is a rehash of the original Stride deck used by Ibuki in the Cardfight Vanguard G series, legal for the D format. This deck focuses on being able to lock rear guards and then unlock them to be able to utilize your Messiah Strides abilities. So big thanks to my buddy Nick for letting me borrow his Messiah deck for the video. With the new added support and promos we've had for the deck out throughout the years, very strong for the Brandgate lineup of the encounter decks. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the actual ride deck itself. We have the energy generator for our ride deck, along with our starter being Neon Messiah. When rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is a Sleep Messiah. When it's placed by riding from Neon Messiah, you draw a card and you get an Alter Ego Messiah crest, with the crest giving you the added power boost for face-up cards in your G-Zone, the added option as well to unlock all your opponent's lock cards and bind those units at the end of your turn. Our grade 2 being our Awaking Messiah. From the soul, when a grade 4 Messiah is placed on Vanguard, you may call it to rear guard, and if you call it a card, soul charge 1. And when it's unlocked during your turn, choose one of your units in the same column as this unit and gets plus 10,000 to end of turn. So just added use when you use your Messiah Strides to unlock your units for additional power, with our grade 3 being Alter Ego Messiah, the main go-to original grade 3 unit that also gains the additional power for being at a 13k with our crest in the deck. So we have that added unit. For the other grade 3s, we run more Messiahs in the deck as well to use for the discard cost. But before that, we'll go over the strides that we run in the deck. Since the limit for the Messiah deck is now 12 strides, running 4 copies of Genesis Dragon Trans-Else Messiah. With this card from the stride step, choosing one or more cards from your hand with the sum of their grades being 3 or greater, discard them. And GB3, when it attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1, unlock all your lock cards, shoot the same number of your opponent's rear guards as the number of face-up cards in your G-Zone, and unlock them. Choose the same number of rear guards as the number of face-up Genesis Trans-Else Messiah in your G-Zone, and they get plus 5 until end of turn. So just added power for your units for the cards you unlock, and also the number of Trans-Else Messiah you have face-up. So you want to run maximum number as you can in the deck, thanks to this card. The 4 copies of Exilix Messiah, needing the discard of a card with Messiah, its card name for the stride cost for this card, having more restand power for the abilities of your units, and then also the extra critical for your Exilix Messiah, with the last of our strides being Amnesty Messiah, the go-to stride from the beginning to the added power for your unlockability and being one of the more generic strides as well, being able to flip up cards in the G-Zone to get more and more face-up cards, including cards like Trans-Else Messiah, face-up faster for you to use as well. For the grade 3s in the main deck, we're running 2 additional copies along with the one in the ride deck of Alter Ego Messiah. When you any card is unlocked, you can soul less 1 and draw a card. So, end of turn, when you use your crest to unlock cards, you have more draw power, the more cards you have in your soul to do so. And when you stride over this unit, you can counterblast 1, lock a rear guard, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and lock it as well, limiting your opponent's intercepts for what they can do until the end of the turn when you unlock that unit. Also, 2 copies of Macrocosmic Dragon Marstoge for the added discard cost for stride to draw a card, and then also additional shield power or soul charge power if it's placed on the rear guard or the guard circle. For the grade 2s, we're running 4 copies of Arrestor Messiah with a GB1. When it attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Messiah, its card name, it gets plus 5 to end of turn. At the end of the battle, about that unit's attack, you lock this unit. So it just gives you more and more locked units for you to be able to make use of with your Messiah Vanguard, setting up a lock unit for you to then be able to attack again with this card. The 3 copies of the new grade 2 Lady Battler of the Black Dwarf with a rear guard GB1. When it attacks, if you have a grade 3 or grade Vanguard with Messiah, its card name, choose one of your other rear guards. It gets plus 5 to end of turn. At the end of that battle, lock this unit. So more lock power, just like Arrestor Messiah. And GB3, when your G unit with only Link Joker for its clan is placed on Vanguard, counterblast 1 and call this card to rear guard from the drop zone. So giving you more of a rear guard setup with just this card in the drop zone for you to make use of. And also 3 copies of Kaluzer Klein During your turn, if any player has a locked card, it gets +5 power. At the end of the battle attack, if you have a Alter Ego Messiah Crest, retire this unit, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with grade equal to or less than your Vanguard, put it in an open rear guard, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order as a locked card, giving you more locked units set up for you to be able to unlock and then reuse with your Vanguard. For the grade 1s, 4 copies of Sacrifice Messiah. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a Vanguard with Messiah and its card name, lock this unit, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets +5 power until end of turn. Then if you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, countercharge 1. Just being able to have a countercharge option for your unlocked unit as well. And then for the locked option of you to be able to use an additional unlock power from your Vanguard Stride. The 4 copies of Destiny Dealer for more search power for Alter Ego Messiah. And then also being able to count this card as the full cost for your Stride as well. 4 copies of Go Ahead Makani, which is a Brantgate and Dark States unit. But for the Brantgate ability you have when placed on rearguard, you may soul charge 1. Just being able to make use of more and more soul power to have the Soul Blast option for Alter Ego Messiah to get more and more draws. And then lastly, for the grade 1s, 4 copies of Cosmo Wreath, just the Sentinel for the deck fitting with the Link Joker lineup. And then the added discard cost of none if you have 1 or less cards in your hand. For the orders, we're running 3 copies of Prelude of Genesis. You play with a Counterblast 1 if you have an Alter Ego Messiah Crest. Choose a unit card from your drop with Messiah, call it to rear, choose an opponent's rear guard and lock it. And when this card is discarded while paying the cost for Stride, choose one of your Vanguard's hearts and then reduce the cost of the Counterblast. So then you have to Counterblast for Alter Ego Messiah when you discard this card off of your Stride cost. And then just also having an option for a Counterblast 1 to lock an opponent's rear guards and give you back another one. With the last of our orders being the 1 Bracing Angel Ladder just for a draw option, putting this card into the soul, giving you more power for Alter Ego Messiah, and then also being able to, if your opponent's Vanguard, during your turn, all your Vanguards get +5, all your rear guards cannot be chosen, and be put on other rear guards by your opponent's card effects. So this is more or less just a soul buildup and added protection for your rear guards against your opponent. With the trigger lineup in the deck being the 7 criticals, so the 4 copies of Decker Cop, and the 3 copies of Star Aggression Dragon for the added pressure against your opponent, with our Stride, which can already gain pretty strong critical power as well. The 4 copies of Cardinal Draco Imperio for the added 5k shield defense against our opponent, and then just the added power to our unlocked rear guards that, unlock as stand that can ready and attack again with our Vanguard's triple drive. And then the heal lineup as well for the added shield option against our opponent's multiple attacks, and then just the generics with our over trigger being the Eldo Breath for the double critical power that you can go up against your own units and your Vanguard, especially when using this over trigger. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Big thanks again to my buddy Nick for letting me borrow his Messiah deck for this late deck profile from Generation Dragenesis. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.